Okay. So, what I'm talking about now...
That's shooting. Sorry.
What I'm talking about now, or finished talking about now, is what I started talking about before. I'm talking about Judge Philip Wombolt and that house. I'll show you a picture of it if I find it again. Here it is. It was this house. Now, it was this house, okay? 1777 16th Avenue, okay? 1777 16th Avenue. So that means that this is 6, okay, on the other side of the road, oh, here, on the, you see where Grandpa and me, does that look like Hayden? That's me. That's me, man. That's me. I think that was right around the time the sidewalk came up and hit me. I know I was really young one time, and I told my grandpa I was so mad because that sidewalk came up and hit me. And you know, anyways, but yeah. But so what happened was that we had there was a. It started out we had this stupid a restrictor on it. That's what it was. And we had to keep going out and click it up, and then whatever. And the one night, all friggin' night, it just kept going off, kept going off. And we didn't have anything hooked up to it except the furnace. Maybe when the furnace kicked in, but that's what it's designed for. But no. Didn't matter, right? Anyways, so, and I don't know. Like it wasn't me anyways. I didn't do it. And I went out to flick it on, and I kind of think it was Buyerbacks, actually. Randy, before he died. But you know, blaming on a dead man because you can't tell he's not. But anyways, he died of cancer. He's a pretty good guy, and I believe it's right here. Got a scar, rock, point blank, boop, and he's dead. I don't think I caused that. No, I didn't cause that one. But his dad was Superior Propane, so you can bet everybody at Superior Propane knew Dad was my. I'll bet you money, because that guy never talked to me. Old man Buyerbach. Yeah. You gotta remember Landon, he was half tough. Yeah, he's half tough. Yeah, Corey saved his life one night because Landon and me got in a fight out at 7 Persons. Yeah. And there just came a point in time where I sort of got tired of the fight, so I just started grabbing his head and banging on the cement, right? And then his little brother, oh no, big brother, Corey's bigger. He comes and he just football kicked me in the face. That's okay. Saved his brother's life. That's good enough for me. I used to be kind of extreme. Like, if we were in a fight, you'd lose. Oh, that's not quite bad. I was never a bully. Never a bully. Never. I never picked on people. Never. Always finished. Never started. But I beat up the bully first time I was at Uncle Ab's. Richard Bernstein. Like, he was big. That, but big. And I just went down. My Uncle Nat lived at 302 11th Street, and Richard Bernstein, okay, Jerry Hardy, she was my next door neighbor. I can understand the problems Dwayne might have had. Dwayne Minton, or what's the older brother's name? Minton. Big one. Whatever. He lived on Balmoral, cement company, whatever. His brother was the paper boy. His brother actually was the guy that came over and always worked for my uncle until I was old enough to have to do it. I was old enough to have to do it, yeah. And I went from being a little bit of a lazy shit to being beat. And something about beat people, they don't lazy no more, you know? These, you know? But, yeah, no, that's sad stuff. So what happened was, they did this thing where my mom had handed in this tape, and people at the store found the owners, and the owners phoned the cops, and the cops came back, and they, instead of charging my mom, like, I'm not saying charge my mom, but it would have made more sense, because she'd have an idea of what actually is going on. But anyways, so now there's a stricture on the thing, and I think somebody took it off. Well, somebody had to take it off because we didn't have it. Then I phone and I say, hey, we got no restrictor no more. You take it off. We're not coming up there. You took it off. And I said, no. Yeah, we're not going to come up there. No. I said, no. Yeah, okay. Well. So what he says was, tell you what, you bring $450 tomorrow, we'll put the thing back on and you'll be okay. Okay? So I spent the rest of the hours getting hold of everybody, borrowing here, borrowing there, you know, just to get $500. $500 for... Anyway, no. It was, maybe it might have been $400, and then I had $50. That's what, I had my own $50 afterwards, okay? So, needed $400, okay? $400, right? So, the first thing, my truck wouldn't start. That was my fault because I didn't plug it in. Oh no, it wasn't my fault because I didn't have no electricity. The only electricity that we had, I went over to the neighbors, and she wasn't a bad neighbor, and she wasn't a great neighbor, but when I asked her if I could plug into the house so that the furnace would keep running, she said no problem as long as you handle it tomorrow. Okay? Now, so, wake up in the morning, go start the truck started, so I phone the cab says we're half an hour behind, okay? And it wasn't quite half an hour, it was probably 20 minutes, maybe? Okay, so, and like, I wasn't even the only guy in the courtroom, but, you know, Womble said, they called my name for an employer, okay, called my name already, and, like, announce a warrant out for it. Well, so then he goes, yeah, Mr. Craig, nice of you to grace us with your presence. These things important to you, Mr. Craig? Now, if I was like right now, I'd say, Your Honor, there's a blizzard outside. You get 15 minutes with taxis a half an hour behind. I think we're just excused, right? But I wasn't now. It was then. I was just a kid. You guys hadn't do the 10 nails to the coffin extra? But you were working on it. And I think this is why Womble hated me so much. Because I realized that certain things made a difference. Like, just some things made a difference. Like, one that he hated the most, waive reading of charges. Did not like that when I say it. Okay when lawyers say it. Don't like it when I say it. No like it that. And Yeroshenko, he comes up to me and goes, fuck, man. Are you on the docket? Yeah? Fuck. What's wrong? Well, I got a case of Zissies. You're going up? I'm going another day. Think I affect him? Huh? Now, if we're totally being honest, at this time, everybody knows I'm serious shit, right? This is before they've done anything, okay? This is before they've arrested me for armed robbery, right? It's not until I point out what happens to this house that, boom, everything just falls on my head, okay? And the part that's kind of weird too, talking about when they got rid of my dad's will, you know, they got rid of it, right? They did it at my trial. Not the same time, but the judge that's dealing with me, like, so they got, and I'll bet you any money, it was from the time, like, we did the whole thing, and then the judge said, I'll have to think about it for a bit, right? Now, I go back in, and everybody's telling me, you get 7 years, Craig, 7 years, see you later, buddy. And I remember, and I have said so many bad things about Michelle. Like, no, I haven't really, but I thought so many bad things. Like, you know, I felt like we could have made less problems. Like, we were standing in front of Carrie Mendez at the bank, in a TD bank on where Tiger store around there, and I actually think it was not where it is. Yeah, it wasn't. It was in the like IGA part over there, and now they've got the one over in the front of the. So it's different, right? But we're in the old one, right? And it was Carrie Mendez. Now, when the flood thing happened, right? When it happened, before you could start, like, we needed a new foundation. My foundation was totally screwed, right? And they wanted to take the house off, pull it out, and then dig it out, and then build the cement, and then lift it back on, okay? That's what they want to do, right? But that's not what I want to do. I says, look how close it is to the ground. Look how close it is to the street, right? And if you'll notice now, probably nobody else even caught on to that. But before, whenever somebody drive by on the road, they, you know, but after, see what I did was, I got him to take, like, let's say the house is right here, right, oh, everything's backwards, okay, it's close to the road, right? So I got him to do a whole new foundation to get right here, right? And then just lift the house up to the foundation. Then take the foundation out. See, their way, they wanted to dig it all, take it all off, dig it all out, fill it all up, build it all up, right? But my way's better. It is. They even said, like, anyways. So, only problem was the house movers. Now, I don't know, you ever moved the house? I never did, but I sure looked at a lot of being moved. Now, let's say this is both sides of the house, okay? Right? Okay. So what you would do basically is lift it up straight, right? So winter time too, eh? So anything breaks we throw us back, boom, boom. We lift it together, right? But no, these guys didn't do that. No way. They seriously, somehow they had it like this, and the freaking thing dropped. Now, they had dropped that house so bad that it had crushed the sill plates underneath the house. Now it was like a 15 by 15 timber all the way around. But it had hit so hard that, okay, brand new house. Well, no, not brand new house. Brand new foundation. Okay, level, right? Old house that they dropped on her. Like, they said it made such a noise that you could hear it, like, just about an IGA. So, whether that's true or not, I don't know, because I wasn't there. Because I was in the nut ward, right? I was having trouble, man. I was like, I was going to kill somebody, because everybody is just fucked, and nobody's fucking listening to me. And then, it was almost like something had happened since I sat on the roof till afterwards, okay? When I sat on the roof, it was like a good thing, right? Right on. Everybody was together. We were, right on, buddy, stay up there, ooh, right? But something had changed. And I thought maybe, I could get a hold of the news. And Frank Weber comes down. He drives down to my house, right? And he says, you know what? We've been getting phone calls. You're just getting too much attention. So we're told to stay off you, okay? And you know what? That was the flood, right? That was 95, right? 95, right? And basically, it's a hard luck story. Fuck, it didn't work, right? Oh well, right? Well, not quite that way, but yeah, okay. But I started to see little stupid things like this, and you know what? Guess it's gonna really have to make sense now, eh? Remember I said now that I figured out which house and why they were so worried? Do you remember a while back ago I says, and then that house where fucking what's his face in? They even took that thing off the top so the guy didn't have a picture of him, eh? Well, that's my house. So they took the deck off the roof so that wouldn't even connect us. The lawyers, okay, Stanley Lerner found out my uncle, okay? My uncle phoned me emergency, or phoned my father-in-law. He phoned me and said, Archie really needs to see you, right? Not that he was sick, just something to tell me, okay? From the time that he had something to tell, and you know what? If I had to guess, something happened to Harry. I'll betcha. And I'll betcha he got a hold of Archie, and then they're both gone. Because when I went and seen, and like, the medical report should do it, okay, right? But I'll bet you holes to donuts, the medical reports are just as good as COVID. In other words, it's whatever you want it to be. I don't trust the medical official, and seriously, do you think that if we were honest with ourselves and it's not true, that would be a violation of the Hippocratic Oath? Right? Like, how many people do you think got incited to have a heart attack seeing that mask every day? Right? That mask. Well, in Medicine Hat, they're not even thinking about renewing the thing, right? But everybody knows it's not true. Like, the only reason that the masks are out there is to add some urgency to get the vaccination. And do you know anybody stupid enough to be vaccinated? Like, seriously stupid enough? 67 people were vaccinated, and out of the 67 people, they were tested to see if they were still fertile. 65 of them weren't. So, I guess that 2%'s got a job for the future. But, like, what, you know what I mean? It's so stupid, it doesn't form words. Like, anything can change? Like, why? Like, the only thing that makes sense out of the whole thing is that vaccination sounds like birth control, right? It does. It sounds like something Rothschild would say when he wants to limit the population of the world by 2/3. So, if you guys start to follow this COVID bug, if you start to believe that COVID's real, well, maybe you should just jump off. You know, maybe. Like, it's going to be that bad? Like, why bother winning? Like, you know what I mean? We could just lose right away. You know, and oh, yes. Okay, so now, I go into court late. Womble says 15 minutes, gives me a warrant out for your arrest, throws me in jail, tells me 2 o'clock, okay? So the process now is I go downstairs, they search my pockets, my toes, they leave my bum alone, it's not like a real jail. But the bailiff will put on the paperwork that goes to judge, well, this guy had this and this guy had that, and he had 67 cents and 95 quarters and, you know, a pocket of, you know, whatever, right? But when I went up, this is how it went, right? It was Dirty Craig! Yes, sir. You're charged with possession of stolen property. How do you plead? Not guilty, sir. Okay, now question your bail. Question your bail? Well, yeah, you were locked up because you were late. 15 minutes, show cause. Like 15 minutes. Come on, just cause. 15 minutes, blizzard, right? No, it's not right, right? Not right. Of course not, right? So, fine, okay. Fuck, I sure hope he doesn't charge much, right? I'm thinking, hope he doesn't charge much, like, and I haven't upset him or nothing at this point, eh? I haven't upset him, but what had happened was, he goes, okay, $500. Let me just think for a second. I just heard him say $500. Now, does that mean more than my fucking $450? That means I don't even have enough to get out. I don't have enough to get out? How is that friggin' possible? I think my highest bail to that time has ever been $100. No failing to appears. So, there I sat. Okay, fine. Yeah, sit there. There I sat, and I think I phoned about 4 or 5 people, and finally, I think Kevin come and got me. So, we go back. So now we're in the truck, and I'm going like, what the fuck do I do? Like, God, what do I do? Like, what do I do? And I went home. You see, the police were really concerned with what's going on, right? They didn't want to make sure that that house had the power going too long. So what they did is they went up next door, knocked on the door, and said, "Do you realize you got a electrical going into his house?" Well, yeah. He's just going down to the city hall, and he's gonna get it paid up, and then he's gonna come in on hook. And he even said he'd give me $10. $10. That used quite a bit of power, don't it? Well, I don't know. Does it? No, it doesn't. Not $10. $10. $10 of power. You can go all night. Maybe. Should have lasted for the time it takes to go down and say not guilty, get out. Now, this extra, find out how much money you got, doesn't charge 50%, that kind of throws the time schedule off a little bit, right? And if I was a criminal being 15 minutes late, what is he? So now, we have a problem. I'm in the car, we're going home. My mom, I get to the door, and my mom is in this blue crochet sweater. Friggin' shivering. Almost upset she hasn't put a coat on, because she's upset. The bird is like got three blankets around it, right? and he's not happy at all. And my mom is helpless. And I didn't have a fight. I didn't have a fight. Not enough fight. Not a fight at all. And when you think of that, like, now, to make it even worse, the whole time that I was doing dead time for this armed robbery that I was found not guilty of, that house was the city's kids' playground. My wife was not going to deal with it, and I wasn't her responsibility. Although I have seen women with guys that are like pay attention and would actually do that. And don't get me wrong, I'm not trying to assault women here. That's not what I'm trying to do. But what I'm trying to say is, some people try, you know? And like, okay, you know what the funny part is? When I got married, and maybe this is why Dad never came and introduced himself to her, I don't know. But the very first thing, you know, I had told her that I had, you know, I used to go to church all the time, and like I liked it, and I really didn't mind the person that made me, you know, like I actually liked it. Like when I go to a church, right, and my heart's right with God, I feel the energy come in, right? I actually feel it. Like when you, like, have you ever just felt like there's power, right? And if you hold it just right, you can actually feel the heat, you know? Well, that kind of energy is like a download that I get from God, right? And if you see the skit or the video of me combing my hair, that was hard. But if you'll notice, I'm making these strange noises, right? Like guttural, That, what that is, or that's what I've been told. Like some of this, you gotta, it's either I'm right, God's telling me what it is, or I'm totally off it, but I know the spirits are scared of me. Like, bad things, I don't bother. Like, but it just, but what was the point? So anyway, so then Mom's in there, and we go out to Kevin's place. Day or two later, put the sign up. A couple days later, go to jail. 8 months later, 6 months later, I have a preliminary. Okay, no lawyer. Nope, no lawyer. Because I had. What's his name? He was the one that integrated the codger seal and all the environmental things of the land that was connected to the stuff that the binary girls stopped paying, right? Nothing was ever donated. What was left was after the city took it away from not having the stuff paid. So we've got, on the one hand, we've got my uncle mysteriously gone, not being able to put it with Harry's last time, right? And then we've got the murder of a priest, or the Vine's pastor, who actually was the woman that taught me law in the thing, the one that when there wasn't a copy down there, somebody was using it, she would run upstairs and grab me a judge's copy, right? And on the days that, you know, anyways, but like it was just the way. So now I've got a house that, and it's actually my house, right? Mom's got a lifetime interest, but Mom's got a lifetime interest, okay? Now what that means, as long as she's alive, it's hers. The minute she dies, it's mine. So it's left to me as long as she, you know what I mean? That's how it works, right? Okay. So, and then when, because I thought Pete was, you know, silly me. I thought the reason Pete came over was because his daughter liked Michelle's brother. Did find it kind of strange that this really preppy girl was going for this big Indian, but, you know, I'm not, and I mean that not prejudiced. I'm just saying, you know, this didn't make sense, right? Or how about this? When they had a car, like, okay, this actually could make me mad, this part here, but it was a little car. I think it was $300, okay? And she drove it for 6 months. And then when they got the money, they gave me the car back and they went and bought another one, right? Now these are the Vanderhams. All that money. All my money. Okay. So I have just been classified as no money because my uncle disappears. Half the house, not heard of. I go see Stanley Lerner. He tells me I owe $10,000 and I can see what's in there, right? Now, I'm a little frustrated, okay? So I leave there. And you just know that he went to his firm, right? Then you've got, in the firm, you've got Anhorn, the guy, that's the name. Anhorn wrote up the codicil, okay? He's one of their lawyers, okay? So he knows, right? He knows. Guess who's my lawyer for this armed robbery? Anhorn, right? So now the cops, and I don't know if I had mentioned this part about being bulletproof before. Okay, I have no idea what that means at this point, okay? But there is the promise for the Davidic covenant, right? That God promised David that in the last times, the vine through his family that was cut off through King Solomon, right? It's going to reappear. So that means that from all this time, there's been one friggin' family. From son to 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 son, and knowing that somewhere along the line it's going to start up, right? Now, when Harry got 14, he was that son that was going to be that dad, right? Right? And he knew it. He knew it was close, man. He could taste it. He wanted victory, right? Why else would he? Why would you go to, like, think about it. Why would you go to World War II at 14? Okay, honor that. Well, yeah, sure, he's got honor, he's got all that stuff, right? But what do the Jewish people need? For how many years is this now? Like, it says 40 years, right? 40 years. But we know it was a hell of a lot. And even my 40 years was 45. Right? Because it's just the way it is, right? So, now Harry's doing stuff, right? Starts out pig farming, but he's already achieved Israel, right? So he starts out pig farming. You know what? 2 years, he's the biggest farmer. And then, well, do some horses. Another year, biggest. You know, like, it was like the guy shit gold. I think he probably did. But, you know, and you think about that, all that money, everything working, okay? When he was mayor of Medicine Hat, there was one company that he really wanted to catch, right? He wanted, you know, he thought Goodyear would be a good idea for town. Like, what do you think? Maybe? Could be? Huh? But the problem was, Goodyear was going to go up in where it is now, right? And it would have to haul the water from down at the river, right? So in order to pump that water up, and I've never been in a Goodyear plant. I've never took the tour or whatever. It was always I would never have a chance to get a job like that. Like, why would I get a city job when the city knows who I am? I couldn't have a job there. See? Do you know how I got my age? Like, okay, my back's screwed. There's no doubt about it, right? I go into when I got hurt. I got hurt February 5th, 1995. Okay, right? I went to me and Clayton Wolfer. We drive my blue Mini Ford, right? You know, the ones that tip in because they're too high centered. Excuse me. Well, anyways, we're going to Tabor. And to give you an idea of all the demons in my path that day, we round 7 persons, and the next one is called what? I think it was the next one, okay? But if you know out that area, morning times there's always that one stretch that's always like bog, right? Okay? So we're going along. I hit some ice. Now, I was a little slow. Well, I was going with fast, I'm not sure, but I'm telling you. I decide to wonder what's going on, and all of a sudden, I'm doing 360s, right? Highway, 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 highway. You know, that stuff flips, right? And all of a sudden, I see the semi coming for me, right? Clayton's sleeping, right? I'm thinking, do I wake him up? His chance of survival is a lot better if I leave him sleep. That's true. Because if you're sleeping and you crash, you've got a chance. And don't ask. I think I do know. I think your body is so relaxed that the jars don't tear and break. I think you sort of go with the flow, right? But and then all of a sudden I see the semi is like right in front of me, and then I don't see him. I'm going the other way. So technically we should be going bang, right? And if we were supposed to die, we didn't. But it shook me up, okay? So now we get to the rig, kind of just like, that's right. Like 1 minute, it's right there. I turn it around and then it's gone. Like the time when it was supposed to hit, we were looking the other way. But we didn't feel it, so it didn't hit us, right? Or did it? No, of course not, right? But the other day when I threatened those guys and I said, you want God to come shake the house, turn us down? Like, nothing is impossible with God. Like, obviously not, right? And it's like when you pray for something and you believe in that something, right? Do you pay for your payment or the whole thing, right? Like, if God says to you, is my arm too short? Can I not reach you? It's the faith you have in Him. And trust me, if you are being slammed 25 years long, after a while, you just feel safe in God no matter what you're in, man. No matter what you're in. Like, the IGA garbage can. My God, that is the best when you got nothing. Like, those guys, I swear, they know you're out there. And Rob Middleton taught me this. Like, when we were staying in that house, or I was there, and he would gain all the times, right? When it gets thrown out, how long it's been there, when the dump truck comes to clean it out, you know, and he'd have it so whatever he grabbed was safe, right? But it all was from the garbage, right? The garbage. Like, I'm a fucking millionaire in reality, but I'm eating out of the garbage. Huh. And like, You take away my wife because it'll be harder on me. You set him up with another guy and he dies? That sounds like my curse, right? Fuck me, fuck you. Help me, help you. Hurt me, hurt you. And that's not me. Vengeance is mine, saith the Lord. I have to dissolve myself of that anger. It's that anger that stops God from working. When Chief Kylo was trying to hurt me, trying to show me that I hadn't a chance, and he shoved me out like that, right? But God had my back. And nobody was more shocked than me, thinking when I heard the radio, half-mast. No, not him. And it was. And I am serious. I am totally serious. I want to do this oath thing, man. Some of these things, like when I go into a court, I want God to take out the liar. Because, like, to be truthful here, okay, now listen to this, and you tell me if this doesn't make sense to you. My conversation come through, and it wasn't me doing it, right? Okay, I can see if you actually screw up, right? But I had Alan Lisa's apprentice handling all this stuff, and we had enough to cover it. So I had a lawyer doing it, right? A lawyer. But what lawyer? Keeping in mind that at this point in time, the people protecting mayors, the secret, the will, the money, everything, are based on keeping mayors safe. Because the minute mayors are being sued, people are going to find out what's really going on, right? So, I remember one time I walked out to the mayor's place because it was whatever. I walked out there. I wanted to know what's going on, right? So I walked to mayor's. And do you have any idea? No, you probably don't. Okay, go down the black and white, and you go all the way to hit that crossover roads. It goes over and you go down there to that corner. You go left. Mayor's is the first one. Weber's is over there. There's like if you go back a bit, there's that little, thing out there where what's his face? The fucking cokehead used to live. Rick Dick. Rick Dick. What a dick. Rick Dick. No. Yeah. So, but the problem was when all this time this is going on, right? I had Alan Lease as my lawyer, okay? Now, he told me, and I thought something was strange, right? And I says, well, how do you prove something like that? Well, you have to prove that the system can support the mechanism that's doing it, right? Think Dad could afford the mechanism? Okay, right. Got you there, right? Now, I'll tell you something really weird about that day. That day I remember very well when I was talking to Ellie Leach, because every time I had something exciting that I thought was good, he'd pretend to fall asleep. So if I had really stuff that was interesting, I would see him. But he wasn't sleeping, I'm sure of that, right? Right? Now, so Rocky Hornig, and just think right there, what's the chances that Rocky Hornig's dad knows? Isn't that industrial guy out there? Oh, yeah. Oh, he's a welder too, isn't he? What's the chances him and what was her name again? Yonky? Farmland Young? What's the chance? What's the chance? Possible? No? Maybe not? Maybe so. I don't know. Who cares, right? We just know they know, right? But what I couldn't figure out is this, okay? A real lawyer that knows what to do when the things aren't followed, right? Makes sense, right? He finds out that they have, okay, the accident happened February 6th. It was a short change. So what that means is at, we were done at 4 o'clock. But I think I find that my boots, laces, snapped and my feet came out of my boots about 4:30, okay? And I'm fucked up sore. And they try to get me to come back at night. I can't. And then they need to ride, and I can't. And then yeah, I went. Should never. But I did, right? I did. My fault. No sense listening, you're dead. Boom, right? No, whatever. But, so now, I'm out there, right? They talked me into staying on, like, with the amount of shit I was taking for what I was hurting, I was a good thing that I actually stayed there. But, the thing was, that was really weird about it was, that's not a good one. Oh, that's a bad one. Okay, so now they've established this February 5th, and that I went back on the 6th for like the midnight, right? Okay. So the first problem I run into is I don't have no boots. And I'm not allowed to wear my runners. So, I'm telling myself, what the fuck? So, now whoever, I don't know who it was, they come out with these size 6, 8, 7. They're like I'm wearing them like the boots up like this, and it's stupid, right? And I'm sore, right? So, walking with the side of your shoes on the ice, like not the grip side, we're talking yeah, right? Now, why am I there, right? Makes no sense, right? So, now I go from the dress shack where I've been sitting in these boots, right? And I'm gonna go to the one side of the rig, I hit a piece of ice and wham, flash on my back. And I hit my head and I was not feeling that good, right? I wanted others so bad. I wanted others so bad that this was just killing me because everything was just coming apart, right? So, finally get home and whatever, next day, and they said, okay, guy, we just want you to sit at home and relax, man. We're going to keep paying you. Don't touch compo, but don't worry, we're going to keep paying you. Yeah, we're going to keep paying you. Yeah, we're going to keep paying you. You're not going to pay us. Fucking shit. So anyways, now, finally, my check comes, the one after the one I just had, and 2 weeks behind in severance, right? Whatever. So this means that I got nothing coming to me, right? So I go and pick up my check and I go, fuck, man, fuck, what the fuck, fuck, excuse my language. And I get a hold of Chris Kirby. And he's their safety supervisor, okay? And he whatever, and he says, yeah, we want you on compensation. What? No, we want you on compensation, man. Fuck yeah. Take compensation. Fuck, see you later, man. Whatever, man. Okay. He says, but first, I want to make sure we get this right. I says, what do you mean? Well, you know when the accident happened, right? Yeah, February 5th. No, it didn't. I said, yeah, it did. I says, I came to work, I almost got killed on the way to work, and he says, no. Huh? You fell. That's your hurt. You know, you can tell him that you were pulled out yesterday, but you fell. You were hurt. Slip and fall. No. Well, it's just as simple as this. Either you say it this way, or we're going to deny it happened. Okay. So I guess he goes, and I says, well, how are they going to understand the problems from a slip and fall when I had my spine pulled apart like that? Oh, just tell them. They'll understand. No problem. Okay? And the part that really makes me wonder now, of all the people that I've dealt with, right? Of all the people that's dealt with me, how did half of the shit that came from Mares go to Wes Reinhauer, and the other half go to Sedan, my doctor? The farm that he got by S&T come out of the will of Dad's. Now, was it these guys manipulating the stuff and paying off the doctor to tell compensation that he can't understand why a slip and fall would still be giving him problems? Do you think that was to fuck me over? So now I have this real good lawyer who's not being a real good lawyer, and we have on the original WCB form, under date of accident, we have 5 scribble 6, which means the 5 was the winch line accident, the 6 is when I slipped on the ice, right? Okay? But nothing too concrete, nothing too bad. It still sounds like you got a chance, right? It isn't till the particulars come in, like the actual log of the winch line accident. Okay? Now we know beyond a shadow of a doubt that the day Jack, my regular driller's away, that Rick Coons came in, right? We know that's when it happened, right? February 5th, right? That's when the winch line happened. That's when Rick Coons drilled. That's when Jack wasn't there. That's when Clayton was he's my motor hand, and I was the roughneck. I was the low guy on that totem pole, okay, right? But somehow, Champion, whether it's, and we know it's from Jack Austin, we just know, because the compensation was to stop Bears from being, right? And now, the WC, like, the big guys, get a report that in the logbook under November 30th, 1994 is the winch line accident, right? No, but yeah. So now, the actual accident happened is all of a sudden magically, okay, figure it out, February 5th, right? Right? February 5th, okay? But the winch line isn't on February 5th. Right? No. It's marked in the logbooks at November 30th. So, compensations final decision is, well, you got hurt on the winch line November 30th, and the slip and fall happened February 6th. Obviously, there was no damage from the winch line accident. And that's our thing, right? Okay. So, well, you can't have something that doesn't happen, right? Right? But did you know that the actual winch line accident that was put at November 30th, 1994, right? So that's like that's like 4 months before, right? 4 months before. The doctor's note, like, which isn't Sedan, is Dr. O'Connell. Now, I don't think nobody knows anything about that, eh? No idea, huh? No idea. Well, who's Dr. O'Connell? Well, she's that bad. You know her? No. Oh, she's got a drunk husband. Who's he? Frank O'Connell. Who's he? The city solicitor. The one who did all the paperwork that said they donated. Yep. And the minute it was all said and done with it, Frank developed this drinking problem, got let go, right? And that's why Frank was a drunk around town before he disappeared. I think he disappeared like right after I tried to figure out why this is happening, but no, not that, no, right? So now we've got my compensation, and the judge, I'm going to bet money. I'm just going to bet money on this, okay? Anyone want to take the, how about $1 million in the future? Just simple $1 million. I'll bet you. I'll even say the name of the judge. Like, normally, I would have said that guy that released me and threw Dad's wheel out. Maclean, okay? But the only other time Maclean that I see is when they drop the charges against the foster home, right? Those three together. So all connected, right? Now, is there any other judge out there that's causing me any problems? Marie Leonard's brother-in-law, right? How much do you want to make a bet that the guy that finally said, no, that's not a good effort, see you later, shake off, was the guy that was keeping Marie Leonard to rape my wife? Not wife, my mom, you know what I mean? You know, it's just, like, years and years ago, my uncle was telling me a story that, about the police standing with these radar guns out behind his garage, by Central Park on the closest side, whatever. And this cop's out back, and he goes, and Archie's going, you can't. What are you doing? He goes, well, I got to be careful who I speak. There's the cops' kids over there, you know. So like, man, like, does anybody actually care about what's right, or are they just worried about what they're supposed to get away with? You know? Now, if you look at this, like, I have to be a freaking madman just in order so you don't listen to my problems, right? Right? Like, I was a nice guy most times, right? I really was. Like, I had my times. Wholesome Road, that was my life, man. I had friends. Oh, it was just fun. But the problem with Wholesome Road was the will. It was still there. And I was Harry's kid, and Pete held the balance for the rent. He was the one that paid my rent to. I paid the rent to him on my property, probably. Huh. Can you imagine? Can you imagine my life now if it was just the truth back then? Just the truth. Just the truth. And I'm not exaggerating. 400 billion. No way. I'm not exaggerating. Like, 400 billion now. You gotta wait till the date that happens, the May 9th, 2025, 800 billion. And I'm not being crazy. Because China's the one that's been handling the stolen merchandise, which is basically an exact representation of Anita Ross and Jamowski, the guy that's living in the house that was the property that's mine where I was conceived, that they wanted to get off way back when, before he was even there. Like, I kid you not, the guy on the right in the house where it says stuff happens, that one right there, right? The guy, the old guy, he was that guy on the property. He had a freak on. They wanted me out. And every time I would get thrown to jail, because they kept coming up with this, you got this $100 ticket here, and oh, you got $100. Like, whether or not I did, I got arrested, okay? So apparently, like, okay, or my license, okay? When I donate all this time to blessings, and I do all that stuff for blessings, and I ended up, you know, I figured, like, God, like, whoever I'm supposed to be, right? I want to lead. Like, if you read anywhere, anyways, before you can lead, you have to be able to serve, right? If you can't serve, you got no business trying to lead, right? Doesn't it make sense? Why can't life make sense? Why do these people have to do such stupid shit that makes no sense and causes so much confusion, right? Is it that hard? Or is it they just don't want those people, right? And like, everybody, nobody worries about that one, right? It's that one that makes a difference. It's that one that gets away from the flow. Because when that one gets pulled back in, you don't have ones no more. You're always looking for them, right? You're one. Big one. But you let that one go, then another one's gone, right? The fold, right? Like, if none should perish, wow, wouldn't that be great? But you gotta start caring about the other guy. You really gotta do it, man. Like, sure, a lot of times when I write, I'm terrible. I'm terrible. And I'll be the first, like, last night when I was trying to find, okay, like, last night was the first night that I remembered in forever that I ran away twice from theirs. I had forgot about the first beating for the longest time. I was going to urban school, and I was in grade 10, and I met a girl. And she thought I was okay. That was pretty cool, you know. I think it was the first time I ever had a spare. Like, one class didn't have to go to, it was cool. It was like, wow. And Pete Visser, and he would fucking find out everything in my life. Like, he would, what do you think? What? Oh, really? Oh, yeah, oh, really? That? And then, what? Then they hit you like that? And, wow, they hit her like that? Huh? Oh, wow. No way. When I told him about the girls rubbing their shit on the walls, that wasn't the worst part. The worst part, I don't even think that Carol even, I don't even think she got blamed for that. And I'm sure they both did it. Like, no, I'm not sure. I tell you, that was just the most disgusting thing I've ever seen, and I was so thankful that I was a head kid and I didn't have to do the fucking the Dwight Kozlowski going that one, buddy. But anyways, what my job done was, it was February and it was probably 30, maybe 27. What, 30? Okay, anyways, Sandy is 9'8", her arms are this long. Got that? Do you understand what I'm saying like that? That means that the hand's back here, but the sleeve's up here, okay? Got that? So, maybe if it was like cut off or thinner, it might have not been such a clusterfuck. But she would wash her panties out in the cold water on the steps, in a, wash them out, and you could just see her hands chipping, and it's just like, because that's probably about the 10th day in a row she has to rewash them outside, And we do have a washer and dryer, just like we had a toilet upstairs and down. But outstairs to the toilet was where we went to do our shit. And like, it's not that fun. But when she went to hang those panties on the line, she went up and she grabbed the line. Not bad. Kind of okay, because like I say, the sleeves are down here like that. So she sort of flips it over, right? Not realizing the soaking wet from, so it is something wrong, right? Didn't realize it right away. So now she's frozen here, right? Because the line, like, probably needs plastic where it's like 30 years old, no plastic. But anyways, it's just her, right? It's a kid. Like, not no skin off our ass, right? Like, do you understand why I had to fight for friggin' long just to try to have some justice for those kids for the things I did to them? I honest to God, that farm, okay, if you go by it, there's an addition on the front. Strohs live there now. I don't know. But believe me, when I finally get into it, like when I get to see who had this and who had that, and then I put the Waters Act and I lay everything over everything, I pray about it, I'll tell you who did what to when and how many times. I will. But, for now, when she put her hand on that thing, right, and it's stuck, she reaches up with the other one to pull it off. Gets it off, and now she's stuck with her flesh to the friggin' thing, right? So now she pulls it off, and you just see this line of skin, right? And it's nice and red and fresh, and the blood starts coming through, right? It's like that, right? Well, she does it 6 or 7 times, and you're just about crying with her, okay? I know what I'm talking about. Okay. Okay. I gotta pray for a second. Dear Heavenly Father, I just thank you for your love, Lord. I thank you for your wonderful love and your protection, Lord. Not without you. But I just pray right now that you start to talk to people, Lord, and you start to see that this kind of shit can't go on, man. There are kids out there, not just... There are. In Jesus' name, amen.